Here we are again. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles, gathered to review another album. This time it's from the Jayhawks, and it's called something about lies. Pack of lies? Quiet lies.
Sound.
Sound of
Sound of
Sounds.
lies. The
Did you
sound
do your homework?
of lies from 1997. We are the Vinyl Community Guncles, and we are Mike from Hub Tunes. First of all, I'm Robert Fitton, along with Mike from Hub Tunes, Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora, and ladies and gentlemen, the man that saw a naked flasher on the Chicago L and had a stroke, and then had another stroke, and another stroke, and about 10 more strokes, and then he was finally finished. It's Richard from Calvin Wazoo.
Oh my, scandalous.
Why I don't take the train with you?
Oh, Robert Fitton.
Some of the things I've seen on the bus are even worse.
Oh, yeah.
On
Well, not
the
here.
bus.
Seattle. Yeah.
Not the Replacements. Anyway,
No.
the Jayhawks. Craig is up first.
The Jayhawks, Sounds of Lies. Okay. 1997. Good year. Moved to Seattle that year. The music is nice. Okay. Gary Louris, is that his name? Am I saying it right? Okay. I do not like his voice at all. And the first song, I was really scared. There's some positive here, I promise you. So the opening track, The Man Who Loved Life, I didn't care for it at all. The Think About It, the second song was even worse. Started to get a little better. Trouble, I don't remember it at all. I really liked the It's Up to You song, and I loved the backing vocals. There's a lady singing.
A lady in the band.
There's a lady in the band. Okay. I didn't look at everybody. I just wanted to know who this singer was. The Big Star song, I have Awful written next to it. Poor Little Fish, the hide behind the coat of my fa. I'm like, oh, little fish, big fish swimming in the water. Come back here, man. Give me my daughter.
So it was a song about fish. So you made that.
Yeah, I know. But I did like the line. I thought I saw Nick Cave down at the laundromat. I did enjoy that line. I was like, oh, I think I saw him there too. The 16 Down, I like the musicality of it, the flow of the guitars. I really liked that one. And then Haywire, Dying on the Vine, I have okay. So there's 3 songs that I liked. I don't know. Should I say my tagline? I didn't hate it, but I didn't hate it.
You didn't really like
it.
it.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I've gone this whole time of my life not hearing the Jayhawks, and maybe that was an okay thing. But I appreciated the music. They're really talented. I don't want to say that they're not. For some reason, it just wasn't. And you would think that there's so much of this is style that I like. And maybe it was just his voice. I don't know why. And I felt sometimes maybe he was trying, and maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like sometimes he was trying to do a Tom Petty drawl and kind of maybe trying to sound like Tom Petty. That's just what my ears heard. There were times that I was like, are you trying to sound like him, or am I just not listening correctly? But
it's not in your wheelhouse.
I guess so, not in my wheelhouse, but it feels like it should be.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
It really feels like it should be. It should be something and I listened to it 3 times. I will say that the third time was a little better, but I did skip the first 2 songs the second and third time that I listened to it. So it started playing, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like these. So
I'm in earlier stuff. It's more country.
Okay. They did. I didn't really feel a country vibe on this, but that's what it was categorized as.
Why
Well,
is that?
alternative.
Like their
Alt-
earlier
It's
stuff.
because of their earlier stuff. Put them in that
Okay.
category.
Well, it's alternative country, I think is what they categorize it
Right.
at. But yeah. 2.5 rainbows.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, I was enthusiastic about listening to this record because I do have the Town Hall one, or what I didn't pull it to show, but which I think is a fantastic album. That's just
It's their best album.
it is such a great album, and I hadn't heard anything else by them. And then so I thought, okay, yeah, this will be a great opportunity. So for me, it's kind of the opposite with the opening part of the record. You know, Craig didn't like those first songs, but the first one, to me, The Man Who Loved Life, I kind of felt like it's at least when I did my individual scores, it was the one that I scored the highest on the entire album. It reminded me a little bit, the bridge part of the song. It reminded me a little bit of Hedwig and the Angry Inch in the song Midnight Radio. Now, I'm not saying that they sound the same, but what I'm saying is that bridge kind of had that same, vibe, like when he's singing Midnight Radio or whatever. And I really like the stank that he put on the guitar for the guitar solo. Then Think About It. It's not a happy song, but the grinding guitars, I think, work well with it. The line about the corner, I thought the lyrics, and this is something that, as the album goes on, starts to become more problematic for me. The line about the coroner, to me, was a little too on the nose. I thought the lyrics of the song were working really well, and then it's almost like, couldn't you have been a little more creative with that verse than the way that it was delivered? Trouble was really good. That's another 5 song, but the chorus where he goes, "I got my feet back on the ground." To me, that is straight out of Whiter Shade of Pale. That is, go back and listen to it. It's just that little bit where he sings it. None of the other parts of the song are like that. But when he sings that line, it's like, "Trip the light, fandango." It's just, it was just totally, it just was amazing. But it's a good song. And I like the piano solo and It's Up to You. I thought that was really nice. And then the songs started to wane for me. Stick in the Mud. I don't know. That cliche chorus, "You got me down on my knees. I'm begging you, please." I mean, that's just lazy. Big Star, I thought was, I really didn't like that song. Poor Little Fish, I didn't like that one either. I thought it was the mixed metaphors. 16 Down, Murder Ballad, not a really good one either. Things started to pick up then with Haywire. It was an okay song. It was all right. And then Dying on the Vine, things started looking better now. Okay. I like the dark guitar, and I like the simple rhythm that the drum was doing with the snare and the hi-hat. I just really liked that. It was just very simple, very basic, very consistent. Bottomless Cup, the chorus is what makes this song. The chorus in that song is really, really good. And I wrote down, is this about his mother? So, I wasn't sure about that. And then there's the final song, Sound of Lies. It's a strong closer. Apparently, this was their first album after one of the other members left the band. So it is different from Town Hall or whatever in their earlier stuff. And it's okay. I mean, it's got some to me, really strong songs, but the middle to me was just kind of unfocused and just not. It's just not as good. The songwriting to me wasn't that good. Instrumentally, they're all fantastic musicians. They're all they're what they're playing. They're doing a really good job. But yeah, the songwriting, especially in the middle part, is a lot weaker. So I give this 3.5 rainbows. And it's not a Jayhawks album I'm going to want to add to my collection.
All right. Wow.
Hi, Robert.
Hi. It's no surprise that the guy who really likes Wilco likes this, because that's what I kept hearing was the early what Uncle Tupelo probably would have sounded like if they would have kept going with the mix of the two guys. Then you have the Sun Volt and then you have Wilco. But yeah, I mean, this is 1997, so it definitely has that mix to it where everything is just like crank it all up and compress it all, which works for some music, doesn't work for other music. I think that it sort of works for this. It would be interesting to hear this in a different, more organic kind of mix, but this is what was happening in 1997. Everybody had to have the loudest CD in the CD changer. But I would rather hear this than just about any other album from 1997, because it was really slim pickings that year. That's when everything just started going straight to hell. So it's nice that the Jayhawks were, doing their own thing. And yeah, this sounds like it's in that, I had a friend that worked in radio that was all about Wilco and Sunvolt and Golden Smog and just all of these bands that would fall under that alternative country blanket, and then they start branching off into their own sounds. But yeah, I thought the first 3 songs were really strong. The second one, especially, think about it, with its woo-hoo-hoo, very catchy. I don't know what the singles were off here, but it wouldn't surprise me to think about it was one of the singles. And Trouble as well.
And I think Haywire might have been.
Haywire has a great guitar sound. That's the one. I think Richard was saying Richard was saying Dying on the Vine has the great one. I really like the guitar in Haywire. But yeah, I agree. The middle is where it starts to sag. Poor Little Fish and 16 Down. I was not a fan of 16 Down at all lyrically. That is a well-traveled road. I did not think about Little Fish in the Water, Give Me Back My Daughter, when I was listening to Poor Little Fish, or else I would have really not liked that, because that song's terrible. But yeah, Stuck in the Mud, you got the ballads on here. You've got the more of the alternative rock stuff on here. They're still doing their kind of country thing. There's not a lot of jangling going on in this. This is not the jangle pop Jayhawks that they do on other albums. So they have a different sound on this. And yeah, when it gets to Haywire, Dying on the Vine, Bottomless Cup, the quality starts to go back up. I start getting a little more interested. I started getting kind of like, the mind starts to drift when it starts to get to the middle part. Things start to slow down a little bit. But I really liked the first 3 tracks and then the last 4. So yeah, I really I didn't know what to expect with this. I didn't know if it was going to be more jangle rock, or because I don't like that type of music typically, but this was a lot more interesting. And like Richard was saying, the music on here is the most interesting part. Down on my knees begging you please. I mean, they might as well have rhymed fire with desire. But yeah, I will give it I don't know whether to do 3.5 or 4. I would say 3.5 rainbows for Sound of Lies from the Jayhawks.
Richard, what did you say?
3.5.
I said 3.5.
Okay. I don't know how I missed that.
All right, you were
too busy giving it 2.5. To
that's true. Yeah.
Okay, Sound of Lies, Jayhawks. I love the Jayhawks. I think they had about a 4-album run that they just made great records. They really did. Maybe even 5. I'm not a big fan of the jangly pop. The first 2 records I'm not a huge fan of. Hollywood Town Hall, I think, is their masterpiece. It's absolutely brilliant. That photo cover, I just love. It's the perfect match. It's the perfect mix of the early jangly stuff and like something like this. It's a Hollywood Town Hall. If you're gonna pick up a Jayhawks record, that's the one to pick up.
It's like that Genesis album that's perfect, where it's just between the prog and the pop stuff. It's like that transitional.
Yeah. And and then they would follow it up with Tomorrow the Green Grass, and then they had a hit. And everything kind of changed. The one dude left the band, and then they get and that's what I like about this, right? There's a harder edge. The guitar work is a little rougher.
Yeah.
And I like that. But then, at the same time, you have her background vocals kind of get pushed in the back a little. And I love her background vocals. I think she's terrific. I forget her name. I want to say it's Rachel, but I'm sure it's not. Craig's going to look it up.
I'm going to look it up.
1997. It's a long record. It's probably 2 songs too long.
Karen Grotberg.
Yeah, Karen Grotberg.
I didn't think it was too long. But I might agree that there are 2 songs that could have been removed.
If those 2 songs hadn't been on there, it would have been perfect.
And Matthew Sweet apparently does vocals on 16 Down. I did not know that.
Yeah.
She
would leave the band. She would leave the band and come back later. I think she's back in the band now because they're still making albums.
She's listed as a current member. So
yeah, she left for a little bit. I think she leaves on either Smile, which is the follow-up to this, and then comes back for Rainy Day Music. But Smile and this are kind of the similar records with the harder edge guitar. Like I said, yeah, it is. It's got a couple of filler songs that really you don't need, and it would definitely be "Stick in the Mud" is one for me, and the other one is "Poor Little Fish," and even 16 Down. I don't know, 16 Down, man, it's all right, but I love the whole first 2 sides. Well, side and a half because it's 4 record set. But man, Haywire, Dying on the Vine, and Bottomless Cup. Bottomless Cup is my favorite song on the record, and it's sung by the drummer. I think it is about his mother. I have not looked that up or anything, but I always gathered it was about his mother. He does vocals. I think he only has like 2 songs that he does vocals on, and one of them is Bottomless Cup. It's my favorite song on the record. I absolutely love it. This is like a reissue from a few years ago. It's even got extra songs on it too, and a couple extra mixes that were not on the original record. I don't know. I dig this record. It is flawed, no doubt about it. But I love the Jayhawks, and they would follow up the next year with Smile, and then Rainy Day Music after that. Rainy Day Music gets a little more back into more like Hollywood Town Hall. They definitely lose the guitar edge after Smile, and they don't stay. And I don't know if the guy who left, I think he actually comes back too. So they've had a rotating group for many years. A lot of people it's those Wilco, Uncle Tupelo people who like the jangly early stuff, like their new records better because they're back to being that jangly kind of country, alt country kind of thing. A lot of, I think, and from what I remember, a lot of those like big Jayhawks fans don't like this record. A lot of them find it off-putting because it's such a different record in their whole discography. So anyway, I dig it. I'm giving it 4 rainbows. It's always been one of my favorite records, and yeah.
Is that cover? It reminds me of Almost Famous. Is that what it's from?
Right? It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it really does.
But it's not from Almost Famous.
No.
Okay.
No, Almost Famous would be after that, right? Almost Famous is like 99 or 2000.
Yeah.
Something like that.
2001, maybe.
Maybe 2001, I was going to say, yeah. Oh, look at Craig's handwriting is getting so much better.
My handwriting's
fun.
always good. I have beautiful handwriting.
Beautiful.
I do. I get
Why?
told all the
What
time I have
album could
girl
this was a really
handwriting.
quick video? What album could we be listening to next?
Oh, wonderful.
Well, that's my
Richard
choice.
Woodhouse.
And it's this one by
Oh,
The
boy.
Drums, which is called Brutalism, is the name of the album from 2019.
Is he huffing paint or is those underpants?
No, he's sniffing another boy's undergarments.
Oh, underpants sniffer.
Underwear.
Underpants.
Underpants sniffer. Underpants.
So yeah, we'll listen to whatever the hell that was, and also review the tops and bottoms from 2008.
Yeah,
We don't want to miss that. 2019 and 2008. Please subscribe or something, or like the video or comment. Even though these guys have stopped replying to comments, I'm still doing it.
Mike does.
That's not true. I
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If it's
Mike-
directed towards me,
Yes, it has to be about Mike for the comment to be replied to.
I try to. I just always forget.
So that is all coming up.
I like every comment.
2008 tops and bottoms. And then I'll choose the record after that we're reviewing. So,
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, I'm excited. Sounds.
but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
We
we still gotta listen
Guncles,
to. We still gotta listen to Underpants Sniffer.
drums and panty sniffer.
Underpants
Yellow underwear.
Sniffer. Yeah.
Did it start out yellow? I'm Robert
You
Fifth, and
know what? It
along
might be a
with
t-shirt. Anyway.
Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig's Vinyl Plethora. Oh,
Mike at Hub Tunes.
it was a quick one while you were here.
Yeah, it was quick. It's kind of nice.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you next time. Thanks so much for watching.
my kids.